Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Spooky Den with Lily and Jenn. I'm not Lily.
And I'm not Jen.
No. Sorry, I was like, we haven't done that yet, so.
Yes.
Uh, sorry, it just popped into my head. But, anyways, um, today we are going to be reading Reddit stories again. These are paranormal Reddit stories.
Mm, yeah.
And it is our Thanksgiving episode, but we choose not to talk about Thanksgiving because neither one of us really cares. Um, we just like the
Let's be
food
real.
and yeah,
Everybody just cares about the food.
yeah. I was like the food is good, but the holiday itself I don't really care for. Um, I I have pilgrims who are ancestors, and I really don't care. And yeah, I just prefer food and family. That's it. Sometimes not even family. No, I'm joking. um, but yeah, basically the food is the reason for the holiday, you know. So,
Yeah.
but
Food
we're
is
not going to talk
life.
about yes, we're not going to talk about Thanksgiving today. We're just going to read some paranormal Reddit stories, and I think
Mhm.
Lily wants to start us off. So,
We will. All right. So, of course, scouring Reddit is always like a rabbit hole. So,
yeah.
I picked four today that we will be reading. There's a couple shorter ones and a couple longer ones just to save us the breath work and our retired brains. So I'll start off. This Reddit user's name is loser_strawberry. This is about 3 years ago that they posted it. And it says,
All right.
I've had many experiences, but I'll tell you one that freaked me out because I wasn't the only witness. I was about 12 years old and I was talking with my dad in his room. My mom was in the closet with the lights off, but we could clearly see her folding clothes. Well, during me and my dad's conversation, he had asked my mom something, but there was no reply. He eventually got to the point where he started to yell, and I got up and I stepped into the closet. But then I heard my mom walk into the room and ask why he was yelling her name. I looked at her, and she had a towel wrapped around her. I quickly looked back into the closet and saw nothing. Absolutely nothing. This obviously creeped me out and my dad out. Whatever we saw, it wasn't my mom. Whatever it was, it had her shape and even the bun my mom always had in her hair. Oh, I would have completely thought this was my imagination if it weren't for my dad also being there and seeing it too.
That's
That
a
is terrifying.
that is really
Just to be
creepy.
like seeing somebody who you think is your family in a closet folding clothes.
Yeah.
And then there she comes in the other way, and you're like, weren't you just in the closet?
I feel like that's happened to me before when I've thought one of my friends or family members or even coworkers was somewhere near me, and then I turn to talk to them and they're not there, and then they come in the other side and I'm like, What the fuck?" I feel like that's happened to me at work a couple times, and even talking to my brother. There's been a few times when I've just been downstairs in my room and on my computer and I hear footsteps upstairs and I'm like, "Oh, my brother's home from work." Okay. So I
Yeah.
go up and go upstairs and go to talk to him and he's not home and I'm like, "Huh?" What? I literally heard his footsteps coming across the floor. They were definitely heavier footsteps and I was like, "That's just weird. What? Where did he go?" And then I'm looking all around and
Yeah.
like his car's not even in the driveway. And that's so weird. I definitely heard footsteps and I
Spooky.
thought he was home from work. But yeah, um,
Oh my gosh.
that is creepy.
I think the only, well, I guess technically I've heard a lot of footsteps around my house, all the different ones that I've lived in. But
Mm.
I remember hearing footsteps just coming up from the basement and then hearing like banging on the basement door.
Mm-hmm.
And my bedroom was right next to it. And so I would open the door and there'd be nothing. And
Yeah.
then eventually, as it kept going on, I just got too scared to open it because what if, by some chance, there just was somebody behind it? Or even if there wasn't, what if I got like thrown down the stairs or something? Like, oh my god, I had so many things just playing through my mind.
Yeah,
I was
that's
like,
creepy.
oh no.
That's so creepy. I even, I think I've told you this story. I don't know if I've mentioned it on the podcast before, but shortly after I moved in with my brother, I live in the basement, and there's a door that leads to the bulkhead outside, and it's a wooden door with a window pane. And I was at my computer one night. It was probably a month or two after I moved in here, and I was just watching videos on YouTube or something, and heard a noise over there, and I turned and looked, and my whole door was shaking back and forth, like
Oh
shaking
hell no.
rough, like somebody was trying to get in, and I was like, holy shit. But then I was like, there's nobody there because it's literally a window, so I could see right through it, and I was
Yeah,
like, there's nobody on the other side. So I was
that
like,
is
okay.
terrifying.
And I literally went, okay, stop. And it stopped. And I was like, okay.
That's insane. And the fact that it stopped on your command, basically.
Yeah. Because it was rough. Like somebody, I don't know, you know how when you lock a door and then you go to check to make sure that it's locked and you shake it back and
Yeah.
forth? Yeah, it was like that, trying to get in. And I was like, and
Oh
I go,
heck no.
stop. And it just stopped. And I was like, okay, thanks.
Oh my god. I
Yeah. And
literally
it
would have
has,
been terrified. I would have been shitting my pants terrified.
yeah, I was like, oh, that could have been the wind or, whatever. And I was trying to like think about it, but it hasn't happened since. And I
Yeah.
was like, so if it was wind or whatever, I feel like I would have heard that, a couple of times since then because it's been pretty freaking
Mhm.
windy here. Um, so I was like, oh, well, I guess it was, I don't know, something, but it freaked
I
me
feel
out.
like it's like scarier too when things actually listen to you. What just proving that it's intelligent enough
Yeah.
to you as you're asking, or you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and luckily it actually listened or whatever. I don't know
Yeah.
what I'd do if it just kept shaking, and I'd just be like, okay, well, the hell am I doing? Am I gonna just go to sleep like that or what? But
Right.
yeah, it was pretty creepy, but I was like, all right. And then I just kind of was staring at the door the whole rest of the night trying to sleep. Like, what, is it gonna do it again, or was there
Right.
actually somebody out there? But yeah, creepy.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll read the next one. This
Yeah.
this one's from Christopher Squawkin from 12 years ago on Reddit. Wow, that's crazy. I can't believe how long Reddit's actually been around.
I know. I keep
Like,
thinking about that too.
is it
Every time I
older than
hear
YouTube?
the like word Reddit, I'm like, oh my god. I
Yeah.
remember that when I was a kid.
Reddit and Tumblr are the ones that are like,
Yes.
oh
Oh,
my god, that's so old.
I remember having a Tumblr. What the fuck?
Yeah. Um, I wonder if they're older than YouTube. Because YouTube's been, I think it's 20 years now or something. Close to 20
Yeah.
years or something like
Oh,
that. Maybe between 15 and 20 years. I don't remember. But
yeah. Yeah.
I wonder if it's older than that. Probably is.
Gotta be somewhere
Um,
around there because I freaking remember the beginnings of YouTube. I mean, obviously not. I don't remember when it was first invented, but I
mhm.
remember
I
when
do.
it started becoming more popular, and just the very beginning of what YouTube was, and then kind of how it shaped itself.
hmm See, the thing about me being a millennial is I remember all this shit in its baby stages. I
Yes.
remember because we had MySpace before we had Facebook, and
Yeah.
MySpace was so much cooler, and like
I
you
liked
could do so
MySpace.
much
You
more.
could decorate your own page like the way you want it. You can
Yes.
put music on your fucking page.
Yeah, they had you coding your own shit. You like put
Yeah.
codes in, you can do all kinds of shit on your website. I was
It
like, I
made me
actually
feel
learned how to do a
smarter.
couple things, but yeah, it did. It did. And it was actually kind of fun, and I loved having the music like
Yeah.
on there, having a playlist to play, um and then
Yeah.
Tom always sitting there in the friends list, the top 8. Um but yeah, then Facebook, when that first came out, everybody was like, not a lot of people realized that Facebook, when it first started, was just supposed to be a college experience thing. So
Mm,
it only had a few colleges on the list in the beginning. Um, so you couldn't sign up for Facebook unless you went to that college and had an email from that college. And then they slowly added other colleges, and the college I went to was added pretty late, but um, a couple of my friends had Facebook pages right away. I think my sister had one right away, and I was like, I really want a Facebook page, and they were talking about how it's so much better than MySpace, and I was like, oh, I really want a Facebook page. And then my school got added, and I was like, yeah, cool, like I get a Facebook page now or whatever, and thought it was the coolest thing, and it was just for college students. And then somebody sold out and made it public, so then anybody could have a Facebook page, and then it became kind of like everybody and their mother had one, and it wasn't as cool anymore. It was like, oh
yeah.
well, whatever. I still have Facebook. I still use it, but I'm not on it nearly as much as I used to be. I feel like it's just kind of this documentary of my life from when it was made to, I don't know, probably 4 years ago, 5 years ago, something like that. Yeah. And then I've really slowly been not on it as much. And
Yeah.
yeah,
I'm
you know.
barely on it anymore. It was kind of fun when I was 10 or 13 or
Yeah.
whatever it was that I made the account. And
Yeah.
I really only used it to, you know, talk to family, I guess. Yeah, it was my version of a cell phone, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, basically that's how you kept in touch with people from high school who I really did. Some of them I just don't care about anymore. Um,
Yeah.
or like
Sicko, leave it, please.
family that lives too far away. Um, things like that. But I basically only have it now because of the people that, like my family that lives in California, and other people that I'm like, I don't really want to lose touch with them, but they're there if I ever need it,
Yeah.
but I don't
Yeah.
post on there nearly as much anymore. So yeah, it's interesting. Um,
I don't understand how this shit like evolves the way it does. Uh,
yeah.
and then disco was like a big thing, and then it died quick. And
Hmm.
I was like,
Yeah.
same time with God, Twitter.
Yeah. I'm still on Twitter, and I still refer to it as Twitter. I will never refer to it as X. Um,
What the
for a
did
while,
fucking change the name?
yeah. Um,
What?
Elon Musk bought it and changed the name from Twitter to X because he's a
Oh,
Seth.
oh.
So,
See, I didn't even know that.
um, yeah. And a lot of people refer to it as X now. I still refer to it as Twitter. Once in a while, I refer
It's
to it
like
as Twix.
what? Twix.
Yeah. So yeah. But I'm on there. I just don't tweet as much because I don't really care for the platform that much anymore. I like randomly tweet stuff. I go on there to check how some of the people I follow are doing, and that's about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, yeah, social media is really weird. I don't know. It's crazy. But um yeah, so I remember all of that stuff when it first came out, but MySpace, Facebook, all of that, and I feel like, I don't know. It's just changed so much. And the way, like,
Yeah.
I remember watching I still refer to this one video as my favorite YouTube video ever, but it was not first on YouTube, and I don't even know if you can find it on YouTube. But it's
Oh.
called Charlie the Unicorn, And
Oh my god, I loved those videos.
those are the best. And
Yeah.
they literally my favorite thing. And I look back at it now. just watched it the other day because it popped up on my TikTok or whatever. And I was like, oh my God, I gotta watch this. And so I watched it the other day and I was like, I miss this so much. Um, but yeah, there were like a bunch of websites that we used to go to as kids before YouTube. And then YouTube came out and it was like kind of put it all in one place type of thing. So it's very weird. But anyways, let's. Sorry for the tangent.
No, it's okay.
But all right, so this story from Reddit is from Christopher Squawkin from 12 years ago. I was sitting in my room after getting out of work on the second floor. Little bro is downstairs watching TV. The dog is in the hallway outside my door sleeping. All of a sudden, dog starts making all kinds of racket, jumping around, barking, clacking nails, howling. I go to get up to see what's up, and I hear, "Aw, that's a good girl," in a male voice. It didn't sound like Lil Bro, so I go, "Oh, you're home early," thinking it's my dad's friend, our roommate, as I open the door. Soon as I'm out there, there is no one at all but the dog wagging her tail, staring at the empty end of the hallway. Lil Bro comes upstairs to yell at me for getting his dog riled up. Said he heard the same voice, thinking it was me or our roommate. We did a once over of the house with my butterfly knife and his BB gun, and there was nobody. Still gives me the spooks to this day.
That
That's
is
crazy.
so cool, though. Although I would know no different because my dog she's a freaking nutcase.
Yeah, yeah, I know.
Right now, she is grabbing my pants and pulling them. So,
Yeah.
sick.
Um,
Stop. Ow.
I used to have two cats and a dog, and I don't think I had any of them react to a spirit or anything, except for maybe I don't know. My dog used to randomly howl because she was a coonhound beagle mix, so
Oh, that's cute.
she she was loud as fuck, but she's so freaking cute. And, but her howl was like, whoa. Oh my God, I can't even repeat it, but it was loud, and she used to do that a lot and just randomly, but I always just assumed it was because my mom did something or whatever. But yeah, I never actually thought about it actually being a spirit. Like, never thought about that before. Hmm.
Yeah, I've had rats before. So, I've had a pet rat that would basically guard my bed. She was
Mm-hmm.
free range practically, and I, I had my bed that was like, oh god, my bed was pressed up all the way against my windowsill, and my windowsill connected to the very end of my bed, and also the desk that her cage sat on. And she never was like never in the cage, so she would just go back and forth from that area to go potty and then eat her food, and then she just come chill out on my bed with me. But anyways, the guardian of the bed. Yes. She did see things that I couldn't. And I mean to tell you, that rat, she like, she would run to the very edge of the bed, whether or not I was on the bed or up around the room or something. Anyways, or even out of the room. But I've caught her literally staring at nothing and shaking, and her eyeballs look like they're gonna pop out of her head. And brooksing is like a common thing for rats to do, and their eyes kind of do the boggling and stuff. But it was not anything like that. It was fear, and she
Oh
was
wow.
just shaking. And then after sitting still in fear, completely frozen and shaking in one spot, then she would run out of nowhere and hide. I was like, what is going
Damn.
on? Yeah. Like my poor
Damn.
baby. What the hell? What are you doing? Chill. Chill. She's literally grabbing my clothes and pulling on them. I've been playing with you with the dang toy and you're still trying to be naughty.
Yeah, I always just forget that animals can see stuff like that. It
Yeah.
never occurred to me. Never occurred to me when I was living with animals that they could do that.
Yeah. It's so weird too because sometimes you forget about that, well, forget that they can do that sort of thing until it happens and you're like, whoa, what's going on?
Yeah.
Just
Yeah, I think
recently, oh my God, I don't think I told you. Um, it was it was over the weekend. Anyways, I was trying to sleep and I like could not for the life of me. So oh my God, now she's pulling off ornaments. Holy cow. I could not sleep for the life of me. It was like 2 or 3 in the morning and I freaking heard something hit the wall, so I turned my flashlight on and I sat up. And I see Sitka's leash literally banging, hitting the wall back and forth. And I was like, what the fuck? And my cats are on the bed too. And they're watching it happen. And I did that a few times and it stopped. But I was like, huh, that's weird.
hmm.
All right. So the next story we're going to read is by the Reddit user plus-hand-4182, also 2 years ago. At the time, I was, I think, 7, maybe 8, and I was hanging out with my best friend. In my house, we had the most awesome basement where we would always hang out. And one time, me and my best friend were home alone and we were hanging out. They just like repeated the same thing. Hanging out. We opened the basement door and walked down the stairs to the basement. In the past, we always said we could hear weird noises from the cellar under the basement stairs. It always scared us, but we never thought anything of it. Anyways, we were just playing in the basement home alone when we heard the noise again. It sounded like the man's voice or something. We were so freaked out, especially since we were home alone. We eventually got up enough courage to open the cellar door and see if anything was there. Nothing was there, so we wiped it off and continued playing. Soon after, we heard it again. Now we were really scared. I told my best friend I would get out my iPad and record. See if anything was there, you know? So I grabbed my iPad, opened the cellar door, turned on the cellar light, propped up my iPad, and closed the cellar door. We were so scared, we ran upstairs. We left the video recording for about 6 minutes and we were scared, but we came back down and opened the cellar door and turned off the video. Scared out of our minds, my best friend and I sat down and watched the video. The video looked normal for about 15 seconds until you could hear us walking up the stairs, exiting the basement. When the video just went black, completely black, the rest of the video was black all the way until you could hear us walking back down the stairs. When the video went back to normal, it wasn't like the light went out, but something covered the camera. It was especially weird because nothing was in the way of the iPad. I'm still weirded out to this day.
Oh, that is creepy.
That is pretty weird. Of like spirits and stuff getting in the way of camera lenses is a definite. I I don't think I've had anything like black, but I've definitely had blurry,
Yeah. But this
or like
also
super bright.
they said it just blacked out until they came back and then it was better. So it literally something went in front of it, blacked it out when they left and then when they came back, it was gone. It was back to normal.
Yeah,
And there was nothing in front of it. So that's really weird.
yeah, absolutely.
I don't think I've
Like
had
I
that
don't
happen.
have any I have pictures of weird shit, but that there could have been an explanation for that. The way like the lighting was maybe or Polaroid, maybe it was bad film, different
Yeah.
things. But like a video, you can't really I don't think you can really fuck that up. You can't really mistake that.
Yeah. Because unless it was a rat or something that happened to walk in front of the camera, not moving, and then
Right.
like walked off when they came back, that's weird.
It is pretty creepy.
Yee. Wicked creepy. Uh, um, all right, I'll read this one from Reddit user fragrant choice 151 from 2 years ago. Oh, I sound like Emperor Palpatine from Star Wars or something. Fragrant choice 151. I don't know. Sorry, little ADD brain. So, my big brother used to have an imaginary brother. What? Sorry.
Oh, girl. Big
Sorry.
bro's imagining things.
Yeah, hold on. My
It's a
big
woman, isn't
brother.
it?
I don't know. Hold on. Let me get there. Um, my big brother used to have an imaginary brother, and he would always play with him, but sometimes he would say, "Stop, leave me alone," or "No, I don't want to go to my room to play." My mom would ask him what's going on, and he would say, "He won't leave me alone." Of course, my mom had no idea what he was talking about and thought it was just him being a kid with an imaginary friend. Well, a day after my brother's birthday, he had these balloons. And keep in mind, my brother is just a little kid, and he's obviously not tall, so he couldn't reach the plates, knives, forks, etc. It was around 10:11 p.m., and my mom heard the balloons pop. So she went outside, and my brother looked really scared. So my mom asked him, "What happened? Did you pop the balloons?" And my brother said, freaking out, "No, it was him," pointing to his imaginary friend that my mom obviously couldn't see. My mom saw the knife next to the balloons and immediately knew that he was too short to reach any of those things. So she said, "Get out of my house," to my brother's imaginary friend. Since my mom couldn't see him, she asked my brother if he left already, and he said he had left and thanked my mom. Later, about 10 to 15 minutes later, my cousins came over, and my cousin said that he saw a woman in all white with her hair in front of her face in the front door. My brother said that that was his mom, and she opened the door. My cousins were already inside and asked my brother if she was still there, and my brother said yes, and that she was mad. She started to yell for her to get out, and then she asked my brother if she was still there, and he said no. My brother is now 19 and says he still sometimes sees him in his mirror. Oh,
That is so freaking spooky. Heck
yeah.
no, I would not want that.
Why did they refer to it as an imaginary brother?
I don't know.
Because that doesn't, it just seems like an imaginary friend. So I don't know why
Right.
they were like, my brother used to have an imaginary brother. I was expecting it to be an imaginary friend, and then he's like, "Oh yeah, his name is Simon," and the mom's like, "Oh my God, you had a twin named Simon who died at birth," or something like.
Right.
But it wasn't
Yeah,
one
I
of
don't know.
them. It was just a regular old story. Um, that's funny. Well, not funny. That's creepy. Also funny, but not creepy. I'd be freaked
Yeah.
out, but I like when
Yeah.
like when the mom was like, "Oh, get out of my house," and it got out, get left.
Yeah.
It's like
But
like
if
what I
he's
said
still like
earlier.
in his mirror,
Yeah, but yeah, but he's not hurting him at least, not interacting him
that's
with him.
true. Yeah, that's true.
Mhm.
Kind of lock yourself away.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, "Oh, I don't want to talk to you anymore. I don't want to talk no more." So,
We don't talk
yeah.
anymore.
We don't talk anymore. Um
We don't talk anymore like we used to do. Oh gosh.
all right, karaoke time. No,
Mhm. Mhm.
um but that's crazy. I think I don't know if I've seen things in mirrors before. Have I?
I definitely have not. That is one of my
Mm.
biggest fears.
I feel like I've seen things out of the corner of my eye. I've seen
Hmm.
things in the lakes or oceans that weren't there. Not like, well, not
Oh,
like ocean, but like,
like the reflection or
oh,
something?
actually, do you remember? Yeah, yeah, reflection. But do you remember when we were at the beach with Sitka
Oh
and
yeah.
I was sitting there and I was showing you, I think it was when we were listening to music, and I stopped and I looked over and was like, oh my God. And you're like, what? What's up? And I was like, is that a head floating in the water?
Oh
And you were like,
yeah.
and you were like, what? I was like, I swear
Yes.
there's a head floating in the water. I was like, is it attached to a man? And then all of a sudden the guy stood up and I was like, oh, thank God. I
He
was
was
like,
just
the head's
doing
attached
the
to a man.
CO2, I guess. I don't know.
But I was like, what time was that? It was five,
It
six
was
o'clock at night or
late.
something like yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like,
It was
there was
like
like hardly
6:30
anybody.
or something.
Yeah, and there was hardly anybody on the beach anymore. It was getting colder, so the
Yeah, and the
water's
sun
colder.
was
And I
starting
was
to
like,
go down.
yeah, nobody was in the water, so I was just like, is that a head in the water? What the hell? That was pretty funny, honestly.
That was freaking weird. Oh my
Thank God
God.
he,
I was like, what is this guy doing?
yeah, thank God he stood up when he did because I was like, I don't really want to find a severed head in the water today, so I'm good with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
um, yeah, but that was pretty funny. But yeah, no, I've seen like I think I was at um Goodwill Park one time and down by the water and not really swimming, but just kind of in there. And I thought I saw a child's hand underneath the water. And I was like, oh,
Oh,
there's a kid swimming by or whatever. And there was nobody there. And I was like, oh,
that's spooky.
yeah. So that's really the only time I've seen something in water.
I don't think I've ever seen anything in the water either.
Yeah.
That's insane. I would have been so freaked out. I probably never would have gone in the water ever again.
Yeah. Well, I was like, I was not little when it happened, but maybe a teenager when
Mm.
it happened. And I just thought my own hand was reflected. No, because that wouldn't make sense either because I was wearing a t-shirt and I didn't have anything on my arm, but this had like a bracelet on the arm.
Oh.
But that's about it. So that's the only time I've seen something in water, I think. Reflections or out of the corner of my eyes, forget it. I see that all the time.
Oh my
I will be sitting here at my computer watching something and I think my brother is poking his head in my room or I think something just ran by like a mouse or something would run across my floor and there's nothing there and I'm like, okay.
Holy
But
moly. But you know what? I do get that quite a bit.
yeah. And TV reflections too, or in my monitor or on the window. Yeah. I think that it was me that moved because you know how the light can cast shadows and make things all warped or whatever. Um,
Yeah.
but then I'll but then I'll be like, wait a minute, I didn't even move. So how did I see something move on my TV or on the reflection of the window or whatever and I didn't even move.
Right.
So I'm like, okay. I was gonna say some another story. I think it was something to do with my friend's old house that she had. We were just sitting in her room one time, and her aunt and her grandmother, I believe, both died in the house, and I had no idea what they looked like or anything. And we were sitting on her bed, and uh, she was she was upset about something, and she was crying, and I was consoling her. And then I looked because I saw something out of the corner of my eye, and I looked over, and she then looked back at her, and she goes, "What?" And I go, "Um, I don't know. I just thought I saw something. And she goes, what? And I go, like a lady's blouse, like a purple lady's blouse, maybe satin or whatever, just kind of like wispy looking, just appeared for a few seconds out of the corner of my eye and then disappeared. And she goes, no fucking way. And she showed me a picture of her grandmother wearing a purple blouse. And I was
Oh
like,
my gosh.
that's weird.
That is
So,
crazy.
yeah. So I was like, that was probably um one of the
It,
weirdest things I've seen out of the
yeah.
corner of my eye. That was like, oh, that was that was that was that. Okay.
Yeah. It
But
definitely was her
anyways,
grandmother too, though.
oh
Absolutely.
yeah, yeah. Because I was like, this. She literally showed me the picture, and I was like, oh my god. Because it was one she had in a frame, but it wasn't out anywhere that I could see. It was
Mhm.
in a pile of framed pictures because she was packing because she had to move. So
Yeah.
it was in a pile of framed pictures that I had never seen before, that she had found in the attic or whatever. And I was like, oh, okay.
Mm.
But that was pretty cool. But yeah. Um, um,
Thank you guys for joining us once again for another episode of Lily and Jen's Spooky Den.
yeah. We appreciate everybody listening every week who does. And I know we didn't post last week, but scheduling conflicts. Uh, so we are going to try to post every week. Um, there are some things going on in, I know, my life that might prevent that from happening, but I don't want to talk about it. um,
Yeah.
but I'll try, and we shall see. But we're
Yes.
definitely going to try at least every week, and we appreciate everybody who actually listens and likes and subscribes. We'd really appreciate those people who like and subscribe,
Mhm.
and follow us and all that stuff. But yeah, we look forward to keep doing this. We are still working on video. I gotta really lock in and figure this out. So yeah, and we appreciate everybody coming by. We'll see. Nope, hear everyone else next week. Um, and I just hope everybody has a wonderful Thanksgiving and eats all the food that they can without popping. And actually, pop. Why not? Eat until you pop. And enjoy
Woo!
your time with your family. And for those who don't celebrate, good. It's a terrible holiday. Uh, I'm just kidding. It's not terrible. I just don't. I don't care for it. Um. Anyways, appreciate y'all listening, and I hope you all have a wonderful Thanksgiving. And we'll see you next time. Okay.
See you next
Bye.
time.